How's it going, everyone? I'm Sir James, coming at you guys with another lightsaber video. This time we have one from Darkwolf Sabers, which is the Arcann lightsaber, which is equipped not only with this cool exposed kybercrystal chamber, but it's a kybercrystal chamber with rotating features, which we'll touch upon that in this review. And of course, this is equipped with the XenoPixel 3 board, just so that way you guys know ahead of time. But before we talk about this hilt, just want to kind of quickly touch up with you guys. I know it's been a while since I've seen you. In fact, I haven't seen any of you since last year, which, yes, it was a few weeks ago. It's my lame joke to start off my first video of the new year. So yeah, like I said, I hope you guys have been doing well. As for me, I'm doing okay. Like I said, I recovered from COVID. I caught it towards the end of last year, and I had it towards the beginning of this year. Some stuff going on personal life, catching up on a lot of things, and I tried to come back a couple of times, but I was just kind of, for some reason, like I get everything set up and just nothing was happening. I wasn't really into it, enthused. It's almost like a writer's block, but whatever it would be for like a video type thing. So but yes, I am back, and of course today's also a special day. Besides my first video of the new year, I'm also now officially 35 years old. That is right. My first video back is on my birthday. So, man, it's hard knowing the fact that I'm halfway to my 40s. Doesn't get any easier, and I don't get any younger. But anywho, enough about that. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this Arcann lightsaber. So here is the hilt at a distance. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Darkwolf Sabers and we're kind of curious, is it a company that's worth buying from? Are they trusted? Do they have good customer services? And the answer is yes. Darkwolf Sabers is a very well praised company within the lightsaber community, and it's a place that you can go to and easily get any of your lightsaber needs or accessories without having to worry about if you're going to get gypped or whatnot. But like I said, they are a very good company and very good customer service. So here is the hilt at a distance. Now this is a one button setup, and like I said, this is kind of got a shiny finish, so my camera focus might go in and out, so just bear with me. This is the button located on top. Just pretty much all black here towards the center. And here is the bottom end. As you can see, we have a CoverTech wheel on one side. Some details. There is the exposed kybercrystal, and when the saber is powered on, it also rotates as well, with of course the glowing effect coming from the crystal as well. Overall, the saber in hand is pretty light. It's not too... Oh, I forgot it's got... kind of startled me. I thought the saber was in sleep mode. But of course, this has got the programmed with the gesture controls and all that, like the motion to swing on, like I just kind of accidentally did right there. Boy, heart's racing already. But as far as like any form of weight, it is a little weighty towards this bottom section. Not like a lot, just a little bit. Because where the kybercrystal is, there's a lot of metal components to make up that housing, which looks great in my opinion. So I could always appreciate a well done crystal chamber in my opinion. But anywho, let me go ahead and bring a blade over. And as I mentioned, this is running the XenoPixel 3. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with XenoPixel or might be kind of curious, what's a good lightsaber choice for a newcomer? XenoPixel is a pretty good one because unlike Profi can be scary for new users, especially if you wanted to add lightsaber fonts and whatnots. There's a lot of the programming and stuff, unless if you're really wanting to learn. With XenoPixel, a lot of the stuff is built straight into it. And of course, you could use the app on your phone as well to control extra features like the length of your blade, if you want the ability to add gesture controls or to remove them, easily switch fonts and so forth. And of course, not only that, built onto the board itself, while of course you have the saber assembled or whatever the case may be, or even through the app, you have options really. Is that of course you could easily change on the fly, what kind of startup effects the blade is going to have. You got your color changing effects as well. But again, I'm going to be demonstrating that here in just a second. So let's go ahead and turn off this light. Now, as I mentioned, it's got gesture controls built in. So in this case, we got the twist on. just like that. We also got the swing. So all in good fun. And now, of course, one thing I wanted to address kind of right now, just in case it's going to be mentioned a little bit later on, is that with the rotating kyber crystal chamber, some people are going to be kind of curious in terms of the noise from the crystal chamber is going to be very annoying, distracting, or is it like super quiet? Now, in a setting like this, I currently have, basically, I'm the only one talking, my computer's off, my TV's muted. The only thing really in terms of sound is my voice and whenever the saber is activated. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this now so you have a chance to listen to how it sounds in a more quiet situation. Now again, in a quiet scenario like this, yes, the motorized mechanism for the rotating kyber crystal is going to be noticeable in terms of sound. Now for me, it's not really distracting, it's not really a big issue, but for others, maybe, but I feel like that would be like a very small margin. Now the good news, of course, is if you don't like the sound of the rotating kyber crystal, or you just don't like the rotation at all, you could easily go into the app itself and to disable that. On the setting, it's got motor speed, and you just gotta change the what do you call it, the slider down to 0, and of course it's not going to make any form of noise, it's not going to rotate at all, it's basically set to off. But if you wanted to put it back to default, it's about 50%. I will say though that if you change the slider to a lower speed, like let's say 10%, 20%, the sound of the motor does sound a lot worse. It feels like it's trying to do something, or it's like going to end up like malfunctioning or something like that. It's not the best of sound. And of course, if you set it to a higher speed, it's just going to rotate a little bit quicker, and that's pretty much about it. So let's go ahead and activate once again. Of course, with XenoPixel, you got, of course, smooth swing. And you can't go wrong with that. Now, the way it works with XenoPixel and how you change different settings is that you would hold the button down, and depending on how long you hold it down, between 1, 2, 3, or even 4 seconds, will initiate the different effects. So, for example, right now I do have a little feature enabled. Typically, sometimes I'll have this off, but I'm going to have it here just so that way I don't have to count so many times. The feature that I have enabled is a beep little setting. It's something that you can disable. In fact, when you typically get your lightsaber, it's not even activated by default because unfortunately, since there's no light source, I don't have anything to go off besides counting in my head. But with the beep feature, basically you'll hear a slight beep knowing how many seconds it's been when you're going to go ahead and activate between each one. So for example,
volume high.
Right now, we're going through the volume settings, which is going to be for the first beep.
Volume low. Mute.
Mute, which just basically means that you can go ahead and activate your saber without hearing any of the sound effects at all. Of course, it's not going to disable the sound of the rotating kyber crystal. Just be aware.
Volume level 100%.
Of course, we want 100%. Now, if you go for 2 beeps,
Unstable blade.
that's going to change the effect of the blade. Now we have unstable, which that one's more of a strobe effect, so if you're sensitive to strobes, I highly recommend you don't use unstable.
Rainbow blade.
The RGB blade, if you will.
Candy blade. Crack blade.
Now, I'm not going to go through every single one because there's a lot on here.
Pulse blade.
Pulse blade is nice. That's usually my default go-to for any lightsabers if I don't want anything fancy on it. Now, oop. Now for 3 beeps,
Broken ignition.
this is going to change the ignition type. So now it's set to broken ignition. And this will change every time you, again, let it beep 3 times, or just count in your head 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Photon ignition.
And all those sound effects are built in too, so you don't even have to add anything.
Stack ignition.
Now, of course, if you are curious, is it easy to add lightsaber fonts onto a XenoPixel? And the answer is yes. The main thing to do is, of course, to definitely download the app itself and to make sure that the lightsaber is fully updated, because once it's on the latest firmware, it's so much easier to add saber fonts. And let's say you go to a website like Kyberphonic, for example. He's got a lot of great saber fonts out there. And of course, every time you buy any of his saber fonts, you get packages for all the different types, whether it's CFX, XenoPixel, Profi. But you basically, whatever you pay for, you get all the packages for all the different type of boards out there. And it's simply as simple as taking the file, dragging it onto your SD card, and renaming it to a specific number, which there's like over 30, like 35 or 36 by default, something like that, 33. It's in the 30s. That's all that matters. And then you just put it in the next number up, or you could rotate and change things out. So if you want things in a particular order, you can do that. And just renaming the folder to that particular number, it's as simple as that. So now let's go ahead and change to a different saber font.
Eternal Prince.
Now, as far as the hilt,
That resolve may be what Zakuul needs.
now the hilt overall feels great in the hands, easy to spin around. There's no like sharp edges.
Okay.
Again, just easy to have a lot of fun with. Darkwolf is, of course, an exclusive saber font that you can only get with, of course, buying a lightsaber through Darkwolf Sabers. Let's see.
Color change.
Then we just go to color change. And the color change will cycle through the different colors until you find one that you like. So let's see here.
Color selected.
Now we went to more of a white one. And as you can see, well, in this case, the blade looks white. Actually, no, it's more of a pinkish white. And we'll cycle through one more saber font.
Moonfield.
Oh, this is the Sailor Moon one. There you go, there's a Sailor Moon font on here for whatever reason.
Color change.
Oh no, I did a color change. Oh no.
Color selected.
Oh well. So yeah, there's a Sailor Moon one. There's wacky fonts.
Whispers of Power.
We'll do this one. This one will be the last one. Oh, look at that. Deactivated it. And again, the... But I will say that as far as me handling with the saber and stuff like that, I've messed with this for quite a long time now, just to kind of test out the durability to see if the rotating portions of the hilt might now function with how I spin it. Thankfully, I haven't dropped it, which is good. My one concern might be if the saber would drop. But I feel like it's got a lot of protection around the housings and things like that, where it shouldn't be an issue. And like I said, if the rotating feature does tend to bother you, you could always easily disable it through the in-app function on your phone. Now, if for whatever reason the saber doesn't pick up with your phone, but the best way, of course, to ridicule that is simply removing the chassis off this. Like I said, the only slight thing that some people might be annoyed about when it comes to this hilt is the fact that in order to get access to the charging portion of this, you do need to remove a total of 4 screws, which is going to be the 4 screws around the silver piece. Once you do that, you will have, of course, access to a USB-C charging port and, of course, a on and off kill switch. And then from there, if you wish to remove the chassis from the housing, you would have to remove an additional 2 screws on top of that to get access to the SD card. But other than that, like I said, it is a really nice hilt. It is fun to mess with. It feels... I keep forgetting it's got the that gesture added. And again, there's just a lot of customization on here. If you don't like gesture controls, disable that. If you only like certain things, enable those, disable the rest, and so forth. But like I said, it is a very fun hilt indeed. But let me know what you guys think about this hilt in the comment section down below. And of course, I'm curious, have any of you ever purchased a lightsaber from Darkwolf Sabers? If so, which one have you purchased, and are you happy with your choice? And anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. As for me, I'm pretty much going to go and figure out what to do, because I didn't really plan anything for my birthday, to be honest. I recently went to Disneyland over the weekend, which I didn't realize there was a lightsaber meetup, but kind of missed out on that. But then again, it was raining, so best not to ruin anything, I guess. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, and always remember, may the Force be with you.